and welcome to the Lakers Pulse podcast. Sometimes I really hate you. You waited to do that. You waited to do that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Of course.
I am Clayton at Lakers 1949, joined by Nelson at probably _Nelson. How are you, Nelson?
I'm good. The Dodgers are good. The Lakers are gonna have some summer league games coming up, so there's gonna be some basketball to break down. So yeah, things are all right.
Good. We've had a quick break lately. Have been having some scheduling issues. Nelson being about to be a senior in high school. He apparently I did not know this, that this is that you get homework during the summer. That is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm,
I'm so glad that I'm old and washed now.
I don't know if those are the correct words to say, but yeah. You know, it's not as easy as.
I don't care if they're the correct words to say. I don't have to do homework other than my college work. But
so you get to do the homework that's harder. So I totally.
Yeah,
I'm totally envious of it.
I'm gonna make more money from doing it. That's the benefit of it.
Wow,
so.
way to shoot shots at the college education system. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make more money from it. So, anyways, scheduling issues. So we're hopefully going to be back more often. One big thing that we missed was we tried to get it that night, but just like I said, scheduling issues was the Paul George trade. We'll just talk about that super quick. Obviously, he got traded for like a bag of Funyuns. I saw a lot of people say that this increases the likelihood of Paul George leaving. I think this is kind of a bit of a hot take. If Russell Westbrook stays in OKC, I don't really think that he'll want to leave the best player he's ever played with to go to a team that has not made any real big improvements this summer, if you can even say it's improved at all.
Yeah.
I know that people still are confident that he leaves, and maybe he does. I mean, I choose, I guess, to look more pessimistically at that, so then I'm not upset later about it. Nelson, do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I still say that he's gonna stay just because. That he's gonna leave just because, like, other reports and other rumors and like literally everyone around the league keeps on pounding this into the dirt that Paul George wants to come to LA, wants to come to LA, and. So I mean, I guess everyone's sort of like speaking it into existence in a way. So I'm just gonna end up believing it, and I think that I think Paul George really does want to come here. I think that he is aware of all the business opportunities and things like that, and I guess that he's really sold on what LA has to offer. And I don't think going to OKC is gonna change that because I mean there is nothing really to come to here. There was gonna be much to come to here. I mean. All the Lakers did lose is D'Angelo Russell, which is arguably a really huge piece, and he is a really huge piece. But I mean, that was more of it was a potential huge piece. He wasn't a huge piece right now, So in the grand scheme of things, the Lakers didn't lose that much, So it's not like the Lakers just like bottomed out, treated everyone. They're just like the Nets before they were acquiring this young talent, So the Lakers they have space to do it. They're gonna probably free up Deng, so they're gonna have the ability to max out two guys. So I still think it's Paul George is likely to come to LA.
To max two guys, I still believe you have to get rid of Deng free and clear.
Right.
And I think you're gonna have to let Julius walk, and I think you're gonna have to move Jordan Clarkson free and clear. I'm not 100% sure on that anymore. It's been a while since I last checked, but I believe. In order to get enough cap space, I think that you're going to have to get rid of all three guys essentially free and clear. With Julius, you can just let him walk and then renounce him.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Celtics did with Kelly Olynyk when they signed Gordon Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
But the other two, I think, are going to be a possible issue getting rid of.
Yeah, I mean,
Most
so right, but I think the Lakers are gonna find a way to do that. I mean, like this is the whole plan. It was 2018 free agency class, Paul George and another guy. That was the whole plan. That's what they're gonna end up doing. Whether it ends up being LeBron James or another really good guy, or ends up being another or a piece that kind of has some issues like Boogie Cousins. But I think that Lakers are gonna bring in another star, another player of that tier. And I think that it's going to end up benefiting. I think it's going to end up that Paul George wants to come here and that he was helping out coming here. And I mean, like, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder could have like a really good season next year and they could, make the playoffs. I mean, they probably are going to make the playoffs in the West just because having two guys like that, like Paul George and Westbrook, that's enough to get in the playoffs, I think. So he'll make the playoffs. We'll see how much success he has. I think Russell Westbrook's probably going to resign. Just guys thinking how OKC pretty much is showing him that they're going to try to win it all, and they're going to try their best to win games. And plus, he really loves Oklahoma City from everything we know. So I think that he's going to probably end up staying. So it's definitely tougher, in my opinion, than if he was just to stay with the Indiana Pacers. But I don't think that it's like completely to the scale in the favor of OKC. So
yeah, I get all that. All right. The next order, real quick, before we get to what we really want to dive into, would be free agency. A lot of people are still annoyed with how free agency is. With how I've said that I'm not super confident in getting two guys next year or even really one guy. I would throw a max offer sheet at a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Make it difficult for Detroit. They're hard capped too, which that makes it really interesting. You could possibly try and steal a guy, even though I don't really like him. But a guy like Stanley Johnson, if you take on a salary for a year and then maybe flip it, or try and dump it somewhere else next summer. But a lot of people are like, well, people are freaking out on Twitter because they're not signing anyone. Well, we all knew that they weren't going to sign anyone, especially when it came to long-term deals. Lakers weren't going to sign Dion Waiters to a 4-year deal. They weren't going to sign George Hill to a 3-year deal. I wish they would have tried to go after Milos Teodosic. Oh my goodness, Teodosic.
I'm not going to try that. No.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to blunder it again. His was a 2-year, $12 million deal. I would have happily given him a 1-year, $13 million deal. He's a very, very fun player over in Europe. My thing is that there was this quote by Magic, or maybe I think it was actually Plinka, where they're going to go after shooters and defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And the names that have been brought up have been the opposite of that for the most part.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a certain bad point guard nowadays that people still think he's good, but Rondo, he's not good. He doesn't defend anymore. I had someone tell me that Rondo didn't know what assist hunting was, and I was just like, you apparently haven't watched Rondo in several years, because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He pounds the ball until he can try and get it to someone open. But anyways, there wasn't going to be any big time deals, even though if I would have been more than happy to give up the beloved cap space. What are your thoughts on free agency?
See, I mean, this year was not the year that the Lakers were going to get guys. And I'm sorry the Magic could not convince guys to sign one year huge deals in a 4-year market. Players want 4 years. They'd rather take less money over the years to get the 4 years. And that's just how it is. That's why the Lakers had to give up Deng and Mozgov 4 years. I mean, I'm sure that the Lakers ideally will want to sign him to the short-term deals, but they couldn't get him to that, so they said, fuck it. So why don't we just hand out 4-year deals? And that's what a lot of teams are doing right now. They're just handing out 4 3-year deals, and that's not the Lakers' game. And Lakers can't top that because they can't offer those years. If the Lakers had more space, if they didn't sign Deng Mozgov last year, then I'm sure the Lakers could have made a competitive offer for Dion Waiters, maybe added an extra year, But like that 1 year, $17 million deal was not going to cut it either way. Like as much as we talk about Magic selling players and being better in pitches, I think that he will be better in pitches, but he can't sell something that no one wants to buy. No one wants to buy a 1 year deal, so there's something really to sell,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's unfair. I've seen a lot of people hating on Magic. He made a terrible decision trading D'Angelo. I'm over that. I'm not gonna rehash it and just keep bagging on him for it. I want to see what the plan is moving forward and see whether this home run attempt is actually gonna pan out. So yeah, I mean, like this isn't really surprising. Like you said, like the Lakers weren't going to be players. They aren't players. They haven't signed anyone. That's not really surprising. Although I kind of expected them to get like at least someone, like to offer Ben McLemore like 1 year $10 million and for him to take it. But Ben McLemore wasn't that good, so I mean I don't blame him for doing that. So yeah, I mean like ideally Dion Waiters and George Hill and all these guys that the Lakers were rumored to getting, they add wins. Which is cool because you want to look more attractive for free agents. But honestly, like they honestly weren't going to come here, just for like 1 year, and then risk injury, risk some other thing, especially George Hill. There was no way George Hill was coming, even though there was reports they sent a meeting. They were not going to offer him more than 1 year, and he has shown in the past that he's prone to injury, and so there's no way that he's coming here. He wants to cash out, and he did that. A lot of players won't want to cash out. I'm not blaming them. They're making the right choice. And I'm not going to blame them for the front office either for not being able to, swing deals. The options left are really not good. And the Lakers are really going to have to settle, and because they're going to have a roster that's not as good as last year. So that's going to be a little bit troubling. But, the plan was for 2018. So I'm not going to just talk about how depressing it was. They just signed no one because the Lakers aren't supposed to sign anyone this year. Although it's looking like more of a challenge to sign people next year, it's still a wait and see process.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I'm trying to find the tweet. I retweeted someone who he had a list of essentially what the Lakers want are 1s, 2s, and 3s. So I'm looking for the one that had a list of guys that would be good options. And of course, I'm having issues finding it. Okay, I found it. Top 10 free agents still available. This was from at Cosmos. These aren't just guards or 1s, 2s, and 3s. This is apparently all top 15 or top free agents. There was Otto Porter, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Nerlens Noel, James Johnson, JaMychal Green, Teodosic. There we go. I think I got that finally. Plumlee, Miles, Allen, Williams, Muscala, Simmons, Dedmon, Luke Richard, Mumba Mute, and Thabo Cephalosha, along with Rudy Gay, Ilyasova, Zaza, Mirotic, Ian Clark, Tyreek Evans, Willie Reed, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jan Vesley maybe be coming over, Direcbo, Vince Carter signed, and Tim Hardaway Jr. just signed a massive deal with New York. Ooh, that deal was something. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of guys on that list that are not options for LA. Several of them, like Porter and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, even though I would love to throw sheets at them, they're not coming. They can be matched. Nerlens, same thing. Other guys like Plumlee, Muscala, Dedmon, they're Vesley, Direcbo, Mirotic, and guys like that. They're not coming.
Yeah.
Because there's no need for more front court. So you'd be looking at some ugly names here. Tony Allen, he can defend, but he can't shoot. Simmons would be really interesting, even though he's a restricted free agent. I wonder if Rudy Gay, this signing by San Antonio, makes him available. I don't know if he's a restricted free agent. I'd have to look that up, but I don't want to right now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's really an option. Luc Richard Mbamute would be a really good – that would actually be an interesting option that hasn't been talked a lot about. He's been good for the Clippers, even though people like to think that he hasn't been good. Thabo Cephalosha would be another one, but he's just kind of whatever. And two guys, well, I'm not surprised that Tyreek hasn't been signed, but I am surprised that Ian Clark hasn't been signed. I mean, I don't know, like, what he's looking at for possible, like, terms that he wants, but, I mean, I'd be more than happy to throw, like, a 1-year, $12 million deal, just say, forget, F it, whatever.
Yeah, but I think that he ideally wants years,
Oh, yeah, but the problem is, and a lot of cap guys have been saying, is a lot of the money is being just blown away.
Yeah.
So, like, Miami was a team that had a lot of possible cap space, but then they just gave $102 million worth of contracts to Waiters and Olynyk.
Yeah.
And
Johnson.
And they signed Johnson, re-signed Johnson. I didn't see the terms of that deal.
It was 4 years, 60.
4 years what?
4 years, 60. 60?
Mm-hmm. So, someone gave James Johnson $60 million?
I believe so, yeah. Unless I'm mistaken.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
15 million. What the?
Yeah.
That's bold. Like, wow. I was thinking like half of that.
Oh, well.
I mean, not mainly because I wasn't expecting 4 years for James Johnson, but
oh no, yeah. I mean, like, everyone's getting multiple years, and that's why I feel like they just can't sign anyone.
Yeah, I think that you could look like your likely guys are going to be more of contract dumps. Jeremy Lin type possibilities. Jose Calderon type stuff. Where they take on a salary for a year and then get some type of small asset in return. That's one reason why I really wanted Patrick Beverley. Everyone was hung up on 2 years, but that second year was not guaranteed. So, all right. Do you have anything to add? I don't. No, there's just so. I know, like, people are bringing up like CJ Miles. He's going to get a 2 or 3 year deal. You want someone that is going to be starting next to Lonzo. And I like Josh Hart quite a bit, but he shouldn't be starting next year. And if Jordan Clarkson is your starting 2 guard, then so help you God. Like, that's just going to be brutal. Yeah. You need to try and get a starter for at least a year, but I don't know. I honestly don't know who it is, and if it's Rondo, then it's going to be very hard watching Lakers basketball next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the options left aren't ideal at all. So I mean, it's not like I can really throw out names and then they'll hit the wall, because they probably won't, because the Lakers just aren't that good, Yeah. And
KJ McDaniels would be a fun name. At least just athleticism. He's stupid, but a lot of times, but that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, a guy like that would be super fun, but I guess what the Lakers are doing is just waiting and seeing how the market shapes up. So it's probably going to be quiet for at least another few days, and then they'll probably. They're going to have to sign someone. So I think it'll be interesting to see who's left, and I think that Lakers are just waiting for everyone to just waste their money, so that way Lakers offers for 1 year big money sounded and look much more competitive. So that way, if Ian Clark was really looking for a 2 to 3 year deal at the end when everyone's already tied up most of their money, he's not going to really find that. So that's when Lakers can step in and then offer him that competitive 1 year, here's a bunch of money, play for us offer. That I'm sure Tim Crange's rugby basketball is really hyped for. But yeah, I mean, like someone like that, someone who spaces the floor, who adds some kind of value to the team, because the team's looking really bare bone-ish and really like it looks like a rebuilding team. And Palinka said that this is not going to be a rebuilding year. We all knew that it was going to be, but
that was such a dumb quote.
Yeah,
such a dumb quote.
And I guess the Waiters signing looks bad on him because Waiters was his former client, and so the whole allure of Palinka was his connections and his contacts and how he was an agent, how he would tamper, and you still figure that Lakers would find a way to sign someone by now, at least like a Ben McLemore. It's a 2-year deal, and maybe Lakers didn't want to give up that much money for a guy that's doing bad, but still you still got to take some flyers and risk some kind of things, especially when you have a roster that's looking bare bones as it is right now. Like it's just, why didn't we have this roster next year? Next year just have the same roster and just tank. Have a terrible team, just tank it out. But no, I mean there's something to tank watch. We can't go on takedown.com and that kind of stuff here.
That's going to be the thing too. Like they're going to be. If this is the team, and honestly, instead of signing guys like Rondo, I would really try and see if like a guy like Derek Walton Jr., who went undrafted. I think he's with the Orlando Magic Summer League team. If he were to somehow like get cut or something, that's a guy who I would look to add before I add a guy like Rondo. I know people still love him, but oh my word, he's so bad now. And don't give me that he's not a character issue and that the young guys love him. Like, there was locker room issues. He's had plenty of issues with every coaching staff he's ever been with. So if you can't get along, or like if Rick Carlisle can't make you productive, then yeah, don't even. I would love to see them explore the market of like failed prospects, though. I know I preach that all the time, but like a team like we were discussing earlier with the Pistons, that would be a really good one. I don't like Stanley Johnson very much, but he would be intriguing just because he was what, 7th or 8th pick, I think. So they're hard cap. They need to just get rid of contracts. If you can somehow get a guy like that, just like absorb him somehow, that would be good. Other possible ones, out there, Orlando. Who knows if Utah, with trading for Rubio, really wants to hold on to Dante Exum. I know people don't like him, but I still have hope that he's going to be like an above average starter one day. Anyways, let's transition out of the depressing roster construction that it is right now. So
I mean, honestly, we should really be happy that the Lakers did not give a guy 4 years, 64 or 72 million. We
should be happy. We should be very happy with that. Yeah. Yes, we should.
1 year late, but still. I mean, I was taking this free agency over last year's free agency any week, any year, any time. Just don't sign anyone. If you're gonna sign terrible contracts, don't sign anyone. And we're on the eve of of the one of the most pessimistic podcasts that I've ever done. The Mozgov, the Deng signings, and I remember everyone trying to justify it, and I'm glad that I can stand here and say that I was right. These contracts are terrible, and that the front office messed up, and that now the Lakers had to trade D'Angelo Russell, and he died for our sins.
I love using that. Shout out to Rice, to Ricky, and all the Sixers fans for using that. All right, let's go to the Summer League roster. The roster was announced a few days, like about a week ago or something like that. You got Lonzo Ball, Vander Blue, Alec Brown, Thomas Bryant, Alex Caruso, PJ Dozier, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, David Nwaba, Matt Thomas, Thomas Weir, Gabe York, and Ivica Zubats. Do you want to just go over these guys alphabetically, or just like highlight some of the guys that you want to talk about?
I want to highlight some of the guys because I guess we should start with Ingram since he's the most. He's the guy that has the most. I wouldn't call it pressure because it's summer league, but the most eyes on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Lonzo's the savior of the Lakers, everyone's still looking to see how Ingram has developed since last season, where to be honest, he was pretty bad. And we're hoping to see D'Angelo Russell-esque performance where he just dominates as he should. We've already seen it with Jaylen Brown. That's the kind of performance that Ingram needs to put on.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were gonna keep going. Yeah, I think Ingram has a lot to show. I thought he had moments last summer league, but as you said, he kind of needs to show out like Jaylen Brown. He just needs to show that he just doesn't belong. That he doesn't belong in summer league. They should have never sent him. Needs to show real progress. Will it mean anything? No, it doesn't mean. Summer league doesn't mean jack, no matter what anyone wants to say.
Oh, Clayton, you didn't hear that Donovan Mitchell's going to be a superstar? You didn't hear?
Yeah, I've heard. I like Mitchell, but think everyone should probably pump the brakes on that one.
Nah.
But yeah, he really needs to show just that he doesn't belong. That he just has developed to where he's a man amongst boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think that he needs to shoot better from three and show that improved shot. Apart from that, he also needs to manage a way to show more potential scoring on the isolation, and being able to feed him the ball down in the post or feed him the ball wherever and be able to score and go to town. These are simple things, but still things that that if he shows, then there's more promise and more stuff to build on, and at least get really excited for him next season, or else then you're just excited for, I don't know what you're going to be excited for, but Ingram really needs to be a bright spot in the Lakers' bleak offseason so far.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to Lonzo. What are you expecting from Lonzo?
I'm expecting all the transition offense. I think that he'll definitely improve the team there. I think they're going to try to push it as much as possible. I expect him to I don't know what I expect him to do as far as shooting from the three-point line. That's probably what I'm most curious about seeing in the summer league, to see how that shot exactly translates. Because all the stats and the projection models, they all say it's going to be great. Still need to see it with their own eyes. So it'll be interesting to see how well that transition goes. But yeah, he needs to show me, at least me, show me that you can run a pick and roll 1 through 5, because apparently you're going to be the point guard. Show me you can run a 1-5 pick and roll. Show me that you can create some sort of separation. Show me that your handle has improved slightly, at least something. Show me something. Show me some sort of improvement. Don't just be UCLA Lonzo, because that's not going to cut it for the Lakers and especially the NBA. He's a rookie. I'm not going to expect to dominate the world. I just need him to show me something or some sort of different thing that he showed at UCLA. Show me a new addition to your handle. Show me some sort of new ability to finish, because he was pretty stiff on that end. Show me something to make me worry less about your concerns, because I have a number of them. So.
Agreed. Pretty much you said everything that I want to see. I think he's going to really flourish in Summer League, just because Summer League is not a structured environment.
Right.
Really at all. And running and transition and stuff, that's what he excels at. So if he doesn't do well in that, I would be very very surprised. It will be really interesting to kind of go up matchup wise. I want to see because the very first game that they're going to be playing will be against the LA Clippers summer league team.
Shout out to Juwan Evans.
Exactly. That's who I was going to bring up, was Juwan Evans, who was ranked, or who was drafted, 39th overall. They actually bought that pick, snagged him. He's much smaller than Alonso, but at the same time, he is the type of point guard that I would really worry about.
Yeah.
When it comes to Alonso, he's that little jitterbug. He is really good at the pick and roll, and
where Alonso struggles, defending the most.
Yeah, and what people don't realize is that actually Juwan Evans and Oklahoma State had the best offense in the entire nation, even better than UCLA's. Mm-hmm. So even though his main issue was like his short stature, I think if they're gonna go like ones defending ones, two defending twos, whatnot,
yeah,
that could be a real issue for Alonso. That'll be an interesting one to see. I'm gonna have to see the replay, hopefully. So, anyways, real quick, I don't want to really talk about Vanderbilt because I don't care. Alec Brown, because I've never even heard of him up until about a week ago.
Yeah.
Don't really want to talk about Matt Thomas because no, thank you. Travis Ware is an interesting stretch 4 type guy. He's older. I don't really care about him. Gabe York would be an interesting backup guy, but he's more of a bit player, so whatever. So the main guys left are Thomas Bryant, Alex Caruso. I kind of want to talk about him really quick at the near the end. PJ Dozier, Josh Hart, Kuzma, Nwaba, and then everyone's fan favorite, Ivica Zubac. Let's start with Zubac. Just kind of go, I guess, in the order of prospects that most people consider. What are things that you want to see from Zubac in the summer league?
I mean, he should dominate, honestly, as well as Ingram. Like, their second-year player who had experience playing in the NBA, has really good touch. So that's going to be there, obviously. Pick and roll operation. Maybe he flashes more of a jump shot. He showed it a little bit during the season last year. Maybe he can show more of that. Maybe even step out to the 3-point range. Hopefully, the Lakers give him freedom with that because stretch bigs are key for Lonzo. And I just think that maybe improve mobility. The Lakers made a huge thing on cutting down body fat and being in shape and being able to move, being mobile, being more athletic, and really being in shape. So I think that if he's gonna help him, really move better and move his legs better, I think it's gonna be that. So we'll see how that's translated so far. Because he was pretty tubby last year. He wasn't overweight or anything, but he still was.
Oh, his body fat, I think someone said was like 20% or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, he didn't look fat, but at the same time, that's not an NBA type body fat percentage, So
yeah, so he'll definitely need to work on that. But if he does, then we'll see better and improve perimeter defense, which obviously makes it feel much higher than the backup big. So if he does that, then I think that I'll be pretty excited.
Yeah, I want to see how his body looks after the summer. I have apparently been one of Zubac's low men because I think that he's going to be a really good bench big. Because I worry a lot about his defense. I know people are saying, "Well, look, he can block shots and everything," because it's just like Brook Lopez. Well, neither of them can defend on the perimeter. So if Zubac with losing weight and with that hopefully gaining some athleticism helps him on the perimeter, then that raises his ceiling. That's not necessarily something that you're going to be looking, remember seeing right away in summer league, but it would be nice to see some improvement with stuff like that. So, and how you said it, to see if he's been able to stretch it out to 3-point line, help out Lonzo. So, anything else left on him?
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. I think he should put up some good numbers, and he should be one of the best players in the court.
Yeah, him and Ingram better look like they definitely had a year in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So next one, I another kind of fan favorite. He makes Clayton's wingspan team. David Nwaba.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing, because I'm not worried about his defense like at all, because I think he's a really good defender already. I mean, if it looks like a backtrack, then holy crap, I don't know what happened. But the thing that I really want to see is if he can knock down a corner three.
Mm-hmm.
If he can, I don't care if he takes any. He doesn't have to take any threes above the break. You know, just stand in the corner, because that's the shortest distance from three to the hoop. If he can knock down the corner three, he becomes incredibly valuable. I would have locked him in the gym every day until he hit about 1,000 3-pointers a day. Like, your arms are dead. I don't care.
I feel bad for your kids. Your future son is just gonna be locked in the gym. Dad, let me out. No, you only made 900 threes. Come on, man.
Yeah, you need to make another 900 or another 100. 900. You need to make 1,800 threes a day.
Dad, I have homework. I don't care. Basketball is life.
Yeah, ball is life. But seriously, if he can become like this year, like a 34% 3-point shooter, which is still below average.
Yeah.
But if he can become 34% this year, that is, with his defense, that is really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So, will it happen? I don't know. I hope it does, but that's really what I want to see from him. I don't really care about anything else. Do you have anything that you want to see?
Maybe some creation. I don't expect a ton, but maybe he flashes some sort of creation skills.
That'd be a good one. He did at Cal Poly his senior year play as a point guard specifically to try and develop that. I don't know if that's something, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of show some sort of ability with the ball, so you're not completely off ball. Because he showed some good potential cutting last year. So I think that if he shows some more things on ball, and he should have it, being on a summer league team, summer league being a good chance for you to get the ball. I think that he should be able to show some sort of on ball capabilities if he has any. So.
Agreed. All right, we'll just go with Kyle Kuzma. He should probably be the starting 4, right? Or unless you think they're going to go small ball and have Ingram start at the 4.
I doubt it. It's probably Kuzma.
That's
their guy.
Yeah, they were doing backflips for him. My thing is I want to see this supposed knockdown shooting. I've watched several games of Kuzma. I don't know if I've seen a guy that has been a quote-unquote knockdown shooter hit so many or be so short on so many three-point shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even ones where he's close. I don't know if you thank you for the playlist, but did you watch any of those games?
Yeah, I saw a couple of them. His shot doesn't look bad. I think that it's.
No, the mechanics are okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely short on the threes, like you said. And obviously, if you want to really, if the point of him was to have a guy who can space it, he really needs to show that, or else you just pretty much have Larry Nance Jr. Or Larry Nance Jr. on your team. So I mean, that's not really ideal. Just in terms of having, redundancy on your roster. But I mean, definitely, if he shows any kind of stretchability, not any kind, well, if he shows like some sort of consistent shot that looks good and it goes in, then you feel better about the pick.
Yeah, I hate being. I'm not drinking moonshine. No, it is just in a mason jar. Sorry, live chat. That's one thing I need to see, because they were talking about at the combine, he made like 6 or 7 threes in one game, and then in his workouts and like tape that from like Laker Nation and whatnot that he's making threes. Like I don't care about any of that. Okay, like the combine doesn't mean jack.
Right.
Okay, it like the combine is to make sure people have good measurements, that they're healthy, and the most important thing in the combine is stuff that we can't see even, and that's all the interviews.
Right.
I don't like taking a ton of workouts into consideration, like apparently like the Lakers do a lot, but I do want to see him be able to stretch the floor, and I want to see good decision making, and I want to see consistent defense.
Right.
Because those are 3 things, and I mean everyone can go watch the Draft Express, but those were evident in nearly every game. So, and if he isn't having a good game, I would want to make sure that he is still engaged, because that was an issue as well.
Right.
So, and if you're going to have all these 4s, I mean, like I've said, I think that they're gonna trade a 4 somewhere.
They definitely should. I don't know how realistic that is, just because.
I mean, unless you're putting like Kuzma in the G League all year, but then like I don't know. That's a stupid waste of a first round pick if that's the case, in my opinion.
Right.
Like people have tried to compare this to the Nance one, and I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, when Nance was drafted, the only 4 on the roster was Julius Randle. So yeah, that I don't see the connection exactly there. So yeah, he needs to show those 3 things. The next one is Josh Hart. I just expect him to be solid. Just flat out. I think he's going to be solid everywhere. I know some people will have questions about some creation and possible defense. I think he's like people who I trust with analytics are very high on Hart, and also a lot of just like eyeball scouts are very high on Hart. And what was it? Kevin Pelton had him like lottery type level, I think, on his draft board, which is, I mean, he's super analytical, but I just think that Hart is going to be really solid. I think he's going to spread the floor. I think he's going to provide good defense. He's likely the 2 guard, you would think, right?
Yeah, he's like to
start. Yeah. So Zubats at the 5, Kuzma at the 4, Ingram at the 3, Hart, I would assume, at the 2. And obviously we talked about Lonzo at the very beginning with him at the 1.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're specifically looking for from Hart?
No. I think that he's gonna be good. That's all I really expect. If he shows more than that, like if he shows some really high level stuff or some kind of high level skill, which it's really unlikely. He's just gonna be good at everything. He's gonna be a good shooter, good defense, good passes. Pretty much what he's gonna add, and that's really valuable. So.
Yep. All right. The one that a lot of people on the Lakers Twitter and Instagram and not even just Lakers Twitter that have been talking about is PJ Dozier. Apparently, they have him listed as a forward. I'm assuming as a 3. I assume that for me, PJ Dozier is more of a 2 with ball handling capabilities, even though they're questionable. I still think that in a pinch he can handle the ball enough.
Right.
I'm very, very excited about him. I think this is PJ Dozier is a guy that I would give a 2-way contract to ASAP.
Right.
The knee is a concern since apparently he's played without an ace or a torn ACL for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's still, if he's not an elite athlete, he's right on the cusp of it. I think he's a pretty good defender already. That's going to be his calling card from day one. The question is, like a lot of guys like him, is going to be if his shot can actually develop. It was pretty bad at South Carolina, but I really, really have high hopes for him. Let's just put it this way. I had PJ Dozier rated higher on my board than I did Kyle Kuzma. And Kuzma went in the first round and Dozier went undrafted. So when they said that they signed him, I was ecstatic. So what are your thoughts on Dozier?
He's definitely he's the guy I'm the second most excited out of, apart from a part of Blonde Ingram. He's really enticing, the measurables, the athleticism, the defense. He's a really fun guy, and he's one of those potential guys that I love. I loved watching him in the tournament. He's just a fun player to watch, honestly. And he's not gonna pound the ball, so he's not gonna make me want to make my head explode. So that's good. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what he has to offer, and I'm praying that he plays well because I really want him on a 2-way contract, like you said.
Yeah. Watch out if Lonzo and Dozier are on the floor at the same time.
Fun.
Be prepared for some sick alley-oops.
Fun, very fun.
It's like half court out of nowhere. Lonzo's good at throwing those. Even though I think Lonzo will actually get a couple oops himself, but as Tim has loved to say that he had 29 alley-oops this year,
I think it was
so almost one a game. Okay, so I might have been a little high on that, but Dozier at the combine again doesn't mean anything, but just showing his athletic ability. Someone threw him a lob, and it was way behind, and Dozier is 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan, reaches just so far back and grabs it, and it was beautiful. It was that's a guy that I've wanted him since before the tourney, but I'm very excited to see him. I really want to see him with Lonzo. So, all right, you ready for the next guy?
Yes, very, very ready.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on Alex Caruso? I kind of have a couple, but I want to see if you've looked at him.
I haven't really looked at him, so I'll count on you for the evaluation. Okay.
Caruso is from Texas A&M. He's a 1-2 combo guard. He's almost 6'6". He's about 6'5.5" with a 6.5 6 foot 5.5 wingspan. So he's essentially net even for there. He's not super athletic or anything like that, but the thing that has me interested, just at least for summer league, is he can shoot the three pretty well. Right. He was on the Oklahoma City Blue. The Oklahoma City's G League team now, before D League. He shot 39% on almost 3 attempts a game. He made 1.1. So 39%, not a great free throw shooter or 2-point shooter, whatever you want to call that. But he also had 5.3 assists, 2.1 steals. He's a guy that I think will be able to stretch the floor. Mike Schmitz compared him kind of to a Nick Khalifas, if anyone remembers him from a couple years ago. Just a guy who will be able to handle the ball on a pinch. He'll look like he's only 23 and he looks like he's 36. But I think that'd be yet another guy to watch. Not necessarily that he's going to be even make the Lakers, but a guy that you could see with the South Bay Lakers this year, if he doesn't go overseas, of this solid, steady guy who can stretch the floor a bit. So, like you said, you don't pay too much attention to him when he was brought up. So
yeah, no,
that's my tidbit.
With guys that I really don't know about, kind of like like with guys last year, I just can't wait to see what they had to offer, and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool name, and then I just go back and then just go back and see what he has to offer. But yeah, he certainly sounds intriguing, and maybe he can make the roster or something like that.
Okay, real quick, in the live chat, Michael Nasby II, dang, people hate Kuzma. I don't hate Kuzma. I hate the pick because it was just redundant unless they're moving a 4.
Yeah.
I think Kuzma could actually be a solid player. It's just something that I think has to have a magnifying glass on, just because they have so many guys that need to play the 4 or just are flat out 4s.
Right.
Dang is a 4. He's not a 3 anymore. He showed that last year. Randall's a 4. Nance is a 4. Ingram's going to need minutes at the 4. That's what, 5 guys that are going to need minutes at one position. And I know that you can play Nance and Randall up a bit. And some people think that Kuzma can play the 3. I've watched some Kuzma. I have no idea where they're getting that from. I don't think he's the athlete to be able to be a 3. I don't see that. Again, I don't hate him. I thought that pick was a reach. And people can say, again, Nance was a reach, but whatever. I hope he's successful. I don't want him to be bad. I'm very critical of that. And who am I to be critical of it? Whatever. It's my opinion.
Right.
So, whatever. Really the last guy I think we can talk about is Thomas Bryant.
Yeah.
The guy that you're not very high on, I don't think. Unless
I'm hyped. No, yeah, I've come around full circle. I've been watching some games, and
okay.
yeah, no,
wait.
I'm hyped.
Did you watch games from his freshman or sophomore year?
From the last year, I don't know.
Sophomore,
yeah,
or you were just whatever.
Yeah, I was just watching whatever I could get my hands on. Yeah.
Cool. A couple things that I want to point out for people that have been skeptical of Bryant. The defense was not good. Flat out, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I do have probably what's the word that I want to use?
You're cautiously optimistic. Right?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I'm cautiously optimistic of his defense just because of his frame, and I think he's a pretty good athlete. I don't think he's not like a DeAndre level athlete, but I think with him being healthy, I think he'll be a pretty good athlete, and he's got a 7'6" wingspan. And we went over everything from the standing reach and whatnot. I think that he could be a real diamond in the rough. Could he be a bust? Well, I don't know I don't really think second round picks can be a bust, but could he be a dud? There we go. I think that's a better word. Yeah, totally. I think he could be a dud. His measurables are really interesting. I'm going to let you talk more on him, but the issues last year that people talk about on his offense, I have to steal from at Jacob Rude over at Lakers Outsiders. He was talking to Ben Rosales about Bryant. A couple of things that people aren't apparently looking at when they were evaluating Bryant this year was, one, Yogi Ferrell graduated last year.
Right.
Obviously, he was in the NBA. Thomas Bryant shot like 70% in 2-point range last year, which a lot of that had to do with Ferrell. there was obviously some regression in just his own skill set, but Yogi Ferrell was gone, and then once OG Anunoby went down, everyone keyed on Thomas Bryant, and he wasn't ready for that yet, in my opinion, especially with some of the bigs in what conference are they in? The Big Ten?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with college conferences because I don't care.
Because they college. Yeah, there you go.
I hate college basketball. It's so bad. Nelson was really laughing at in one of our chats. I was just like, I hate the possession arrow, or just like these college refs are terrible. Just yeah. No, there was in the USC versus Utah game. USC.
UCLA.
There was no. It was USC versus Utah. Kuzma had actually two really nice floaters that he got called a foul on, and it was totally the defender's fault. Like they were bad calls, and even like me just watching the game, I was like, what was that? Are you kidding me? Like it was a live game or something. But yeah, no, college basketball is so bad. It is awful.
It's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad.
No, it's real. It might even be worse than what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But with Bryant being able to stretch the floor now, or at least it would seem from his sophomore year, and just his tools I think he can improve on the defensive side. He is a guy that I'm very hyped up for. So.
Okay. So before I was like, oh man, Thomas Bryant, I want an EK. But since then, I flipped the script. The wingspan. Immediately, I was like, all right, this is dope. But then I went back and saw film from last year, and I was like, man, all right. So the defense was not good at all last year. Like no one can tell me the defense was good because it was bad. He showed a lack of mobility and those questions about his NBA future. I went back and watched some freshman highlights, and then that's kind of where I saw more of it. I saw the spacing and the touch. On defense, he could block some shots, and he could move. He moves slightly better, not anything insane, but he moves slightly better. So that was promising. And then I saw the workout video. See, I hate workouts because I see them, and then I fall in love with the guys. And then I saw the workout. He was moving so well. Like the tape and the workout do not match up. And as much as I hate doing this, and I hate taking anything else from the tape over like a workout or like a stat, I'm gonna have to side with the workout, and I'm really trusting. I'm really trusting that he has improved his mobility and that he can really show it off in summer league, because he is one of these guys that it is make or break for me. Like if he shows a lack of mobility, I'm off him. I just don't see a way, or I don't see the upside. Obviously, he can still improve. He's still young. He still has really good measurables. But I still need to see it.
He is really young.
Right.
Because he was a true sophomore. Let me put that. Oh, look at Draft Express already changing to 2018. I believe he is only 2 months older than Lonzo Ball, who was a freshman. So he is a really young sophomore. So to say that he's young is not an understatement.
Yeah, so all these signs point to him becoming, whether he improves his defense or not, that'll really be it. Because if he improves his defense and the mobility is legit, then I'm all on him. And he really must have shown that, because he must have killed his workout for the Lakers to draft him. So I'm going to trust that he improved it. Hopefully he did, because the wingspan is just really awesome. And I'm all on board with anyone who has an insane wingspan. So.
All right. I don't want to drag this out. So is there any last things that you want to talk about Summer League?
Just don't take it seriously and don't, base conclusions whether good or bad on it. You can go on Twitter and troll and stuff, but just don't comment to people's mentions and being like Lonzo's a bust, woo, or Lonzo's a future Hall of Famer, because this really is a really 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 small indicator. Actually, it's not really an indicator at all. It's just something that you see and you either get impressed by or maybe you see a few concerns. But honestly, most of you guys are really young, really rookies, and I am not gonna be expecting a championship from the summer league team just because there are a lot of really good rosters out there with a couple of second, third year, fourth year guys that are much more established than the Lakers players. Because I mean, Lonzo is gonna be good, right? He's gonna at least be good, but right now he's not that good as far as compared to summer league other more experienced players. Ingram should dominate, Zubac should dominate, but Thomas Bryant, Kuzma, Dozier, which you still don't know at what level these guys are at. And obviously, if they play well for the first game, then we'll see how we go from there. But right now, I think people should be cautiously optimistic with the whole expectations of the whole team in general. So,
yeah, I think the main thing is that people should just really look for fun highlights from summer league. I know people are wanting to win summer league, but I mean, summer league doesn't mean anything. There's it mean like they're not going to hang summer league banners in even the Lakers training or practice facility.
The Clippers will because they don't have any banners, but the Lakers have plenty.
Yeah, but yeah, don't take it so seriously. We've had to deal with this crap for 2 freaking years of, well, our draft pick sucks. Yeah, okay.
Oh, hi.
You had to come in when we're about to log off.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, Merge, drop these summer league hot takes. Come on, do it.
All right, we went over the entire roster and Paul George trade and free agency, but just give us a couple things that you're looking for from summer league.
I want to see if Lonzo's, actually where everyone says he is. I want to see if he actually makes the big men better. I want to see if Thomas Bryant and PJ Dozier are the 2 guys probably that aren't Lonzo that I'm the most interested in.
Merge. Preach.
I know to expect from Ingram. I mean, I want Ingram to do well, but I think Ingram and Zubac, I know what to expect from them. But Dozier and Bryant are probably the 2 that I'm most intrigued with that aren't, the main 3, I really want Thomas Bryant to work out because I think he has a lot of potential. And PJ Dozier was a top 40 guy for me, at least.
Yep, I said the same.
Really good defensive potential, really good athletic potential. He doesn't have an ACL, but that's it doesn't seem to have bothered him the last 5 years.
If you missed the podcast, Merge is pretty much recapping what we played.
I know I've heard Ben Rosales talk about this guy too, but Howard Caruso, right? That's his name.
I talked about him as well. Yeah, I talked about him as well.
Yeah, I just read that Ben Rosales piece, but a couple hours ago, and he said that
I haven't read it yet, but I'm intrigued.
He said that Caruso have defensive potential as a backup guard. He had like a 4% steal rate.
That's interesting. I haven't read that piece yet, so I don't really know too terribly know much about Caruso. I just know that he's got decent size for a 1-2. Yeah. They kind of comped into like Nick Kalithis, which is kind of hilarious because they both are prematurely balding.
Yeah.
So, and Kalithis was pretty decent on defense, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but
they dropped out of the league after the whole. Then you have like some PED incident.
Yeah, like right before the playoffs, and then he wasn't going to get a good contract, so now he's over in Europe, apparently killing it. So, yeah.
Besides those guys, Josh Hart, I think I know what it's bet from him. He'll be solid all around. I'm interested to see if they start Hart or Nwaba at the 2, or if they just go full out and put Ingram at the 4. But I don't see it happening because Kuzma was the highest pick. That isn't Lonzo. So it'll be interesting to see if Nwaba starts or if Hart starts. I'm trying to think about any other like lower guys. There's no one else really. I mean, that Alec Brown guy, he's kind of interesting, but he won't get any playing time.
We didn't even bother to talk about him.
Am I missing? I mean, Vanderblue, but Vanderblue.
No one cares.
I think that's really the gist of it. I mean, I'm not gonna overreact to it. You know, there's guys. If someone looks bad, I'm not gonna overreact. If someone looks really good, I'm not gonna overreact. I'm just looking for flashes from the young guys and just see just a flash of potential. I mean, the most impressive guy in the summer league so far has been Donovan Mitchell to me, and he hasn't been putting up crazy stats. I mean, but he's shown some crazy potential. That's just what I want to see with the young guys.
We did make fun of people who said that Donovan Mitchell's going to be a superstar.
I like Donovan, but he's not going to be a superstar.
No, Mitchell is that dude. Very specific. You know exactly who he is. He is that dude.
That dude.
If you're gonna make fun of me, make fun of Cole.
No. No one makes fun of the scouting god here. No, we don't do that here. Sorry.
I mean, again, like with Donovan, he's shown a lot of potential. He hasn't really had like crazy stat games like someone like Jason Tatum's had. But like, you know, he showed what he can be. And that's just what I want to see from someone like Lonzo. I want to see if that ball movement culture that he brought into UCLA instantly is like infectious with the young guys. And I do want to see him see if he can throw any like lobs. I know there's a whole talk about Zubats, and Zubats is saying that they're talking about Lonzo throwing lobs to him, and he like Zubats only has like a 12-inch vertical or something like that. And I actually kind of see what people were saying about that, because there were times last year where Zubats just like people wanted to Uber to Zubats, but you know he's not athletic enough to just go up there and just like catch that alley-oop and dunk it most of the times.
Thomas Bryant could with his 9'4" standing reach and 33-inch vertical.
Oh,
just saying.
Yeah, I know 12 inch isn't obviously accurate, but he's not athletic.
No,
so,
I'm actually trying to look that up right now.
He's obviously not like a Thomas Bryant type or a even Kuzma sometimes type who can just go up there and grab it and dunk on dudes. And I think that's pretty much it. But I'm excited. I'm not as excited as I was from the past 2 years for Summer League. You know, I kind of know what to expect, sort of like expectation wise. I don't want to get too high on these guys, but I don't want to like get super down on guys if they struggle, especially Lonzo. I'm trying to keep all that in perspective, because I feel like there's a chance that he does struggle, especially in games like who else do the Lakers play besides the Clippers? I know they play De'Aaron Fox, right?
They play the Clippers, the Celtics, and the Kings. They play obviously the Clippers tomorrow at 5:30. The Celtics on Saturday at 5:30, and Monday against the Kings at 7:30, and then games 4 and 5 to be determined after seeding.
So I'll probably expect Jaylen Brown to be on Lonzo, honestly, in that Celtics game, just because, you know, whoever our two isn't going to be too big of an offensive threat, whether it be Nwaba or Hart. So I can definitely see Brown being put on Lonzo. So that would be a tough matchup if that does happen. And then of course the De'Aaron Fox matchup is going to be a big one because of the whole, you know, 39 points dropped on Lonzo's head type thing. I don't expect that to happen. I don't really expect De'Aaron Fox to have a great summer league in general.
I need it to happen.
The hot takes will fly.
I need it.
The hot takes will fly, and it'll be good and bad at the same time, because it's going to be. Our NBA Twitter in general is already a bloodbath right now. It'll get even worse if that happened, especially with, you know, Lonzo being the biggest name out of the group. But Yeah, I just want I like I said before, I just want Lonzo and all the other young guys to just flash potential. I don't need them to go out there and put up 30 and 10 or something like that. I just need something that makes me go, okay, I can definitely see him doing that in the NBA type of thing. So
I don't think Zubats has actually ever had his vertical jump measured. I'm looking up. I can't even find actually a wingspan on him. It's reported to be 7'4".
yeah.
But yeah, I can't find a standing reach. I can't find a true measurement on a wingspan or a vertical jump.
Yeah.
So I've never heard of a guy only having a 14-inch or 14-inch vertical jump.
That was most Zubats making fun of him.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. I mean, it's got to at least be 20. I don't know.
But yeah.
Oh, don't say that in live chat, man. Please, Seth. You're gonna bring back Tyler Ennis. No,
it's gonna happen.
It's either gonna be Ennis or it's gonna be Rondo, and I'm gonna die inside either way.
Please.
So
I'd rather have Ennis.
I said I'd much rather bring in a guy like
Caruso.
Derek Walton Jr. or Caruso would be an interesting guy. Or just look at guys that get cut. The guy that I would love to see if he gets waived is Demetrius Jackson. He went mid-second round last year.
Yeah,
I had him at like between 18 and 25 last year, I think, on my board.
Mm-hmm.
And Boston is gonna have to cut people, I think. So, especially if they're trying to bring in Yabusele and stuff, that'd be a guy that I would be really interested in. He's a really good athlete and a good enough shooter and whatnot.
Someone, please, get Yabusele to Lakers. Trade Nance, Randall, and Dame for Yabusele. Do it.
German Draymond, man.
Yeah, we need him.
I was really looking forward to him playing in the summer league, but then he's not. And Zizic has sucked.
Yeah, sad.
Has he? I haven't bothered to actually watch their games, but I know that their workout videos, they've been trying to hype him up like crazy.
Yeah. Who did they play the second game? I'm trying to remember. The Spurs game. He really sucked against the Spurs. I'm trying to remember who their big man is. The Spurs. I think it's Oh my God. It's the big man who can shoot. Burton. Yeah, I think he's a 5.
Yeah. He's a very interesting one because people have been trying to say that he's better than Zubats, which I don't think I really agree with. So, all right. Any last things that you guys want to say before we hop off?
Nah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. We'll have some podcasts after the games. Clayton probably won't be on the first one, so
yeah, I can't be on the first one, so it'll have to be you two.
Yeah, so we'll break down the first summer league game of the Lonzo Ball era. The face of the Lakers. So
Woo.
All right, Nelson, do you have anything coming out?
Yeah, I'll have some breakdowns on some players during the summer league. I'll be doing that kind of stuff. Have editorial after summer league's done. Pretty much just recapping and giving my opinion on the Lakers offseason in general. Once they sign Rondo and they were signing Tyler Ennis.
Yeah.
Merge, are you gonna write anything besides your mock draft?
My mock draft.
Wow, really, Clayton? That's nice.
Yeah, well, I guess in the collaboration he did do that. So
yeah.
I'm not writing anything.
Lame.
Are you gonna write anything?
I said no.
I said Clayton.
I think I was the last one out of the 3 of us to publish anything.
Oh wow!
With my free agent possibilities. So yeah. No, I don't know exactly what I want to write about. I wanted to kind of write about Summer League, but had to take care of a sick wife today, so couldn't do that. Kind of really why I wanted to do the podcast tonight. All right. Yeah, and I can't think of anything else I'm going to write right now. Usually it comes to me at just random moments when I want to write.
Look at Clayton. Look at Clayton being randomly creative. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. If you enjoyed the podcast, you can catch us on iTunes. Subscribe, rate, review. If you hate us, I don't care. Just still give us 5 stars.
He cares.
Okay.
He cares. Deep down inside, he cares.
No, just as Merch likes to say, you can just give us more negative reviews on Nelson.
Mhm.
Write those, but make sure you still give us 5 stars.
Yeah. You guys do that. Yeah. That was really funny.
Nelson didn't talk too fast tonight, I don't think. I think we're good on that one. So.
Okay. So yeah, just bag on my takes. Go ahead. You know what? I put so much work into this podcast. I do not deserve whatever I get. All right. I just don't. It's not funny, Clayton. I'm honestly hurt right now.
Horrible. You're not hurt.
I don't know that.
All right. Thank you guys for watching and in the live chat. Yeah. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes. Obviously, you can see us on YouTube. And that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think gonna be trying to look into how to get onto Stitcher and any other type of sites like that. So, anyways, you all have a great one. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you, I guess, tomorrow night after the game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all. Bye.
Peace.